Hi, Pix. Hi, Pixie. Come here. Do you want to say hi to the camera? Can you say hi to the camera? I love you. You little fuzz bucket. You want down? Yeah. Okay. Go on now. Pixie, really? Hi, welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Sarah, and this is my week in review for the second week of December. I'm going to quickly talk about the things I've read, DNF'd, bookish acquisitions, that sort of thing. It's very cold and very wet and very gross in Tennessee where I am. So we're back upstairs instead of in front of my bookshelves downstairs, in front of the TBR shelf. I have coffee and I'm in my sweats and we're not given any cares today. So starting off, I do want to say I got my first volume of Criminal Intentions, the physical copy, in the mail. And I have tabbed and marked it up. Such a satisfying sound for me. I love that. Love these books. I just wanted to show this because I was so happy about it. So excited. So that is the first that's a real only thing that I've gotten this week. To the things I've actually read this week, I really quickly was going to mention the 2 picture books I read numerous times with my daughter this week, just because they're pretty fun, and on the chance that anybody has any kids in their lives that need books or anything like that. But Not Yet Yeti, which we have really enjoyed. Both of these are library copies, but I actually think we have gotten a physical copy of one, and we'll probably get a physical copy of this as well for her. This is the story of Yeti, who's going to school and is basically just learning to try again. He finds he can't do certain things and he gets upset, and the teacher just tells him to take a deep breath and try again. So my daughter, much like me, can get easily frustrated. So this is a great book we've been reading with her. Try and reinforce, that take a deep breath, try again. The other one we read is Nanette's Baguettes. I think we might have read this at least 8 or 9 times. This is a very cute story about Nanette, whose mother sends her out to get a baguette, and Nanette gets too excited and eats the baguette, and then she is distressed. To quote the book, she frets. It rhymes. It's a very rhymey book. It's very cute, and she has to decide to return home to face her mother, and the whole idea of, if you mess up, just be honest, tell the truth, and everything will be okay. And this has also been fantastic. Beanie loves both of those, so I've been reading those several times this week. Now onto the adult books that I have read. I want to get this one out of the way because I hated it, and that was Convergence by Zoraida Cordova. This, I will try very hard to make this short and sweet. I think that the idea behind this, the way that Zoraida Cordova structured this, she was aiming for a book that was paced like the prequel movies, and instead felt unfinished, almost jarring in places. There was at least one point where we ended on what should have been a cliffhanger for a dire situation, and then 2 pages later we started a new chapter from a new perspective, and oh, those people are fine. They just showed up out of the bunker that sealed shut behind them when they had just gotten stung by a poisonous scorpion. It was very weird. I felt like the characters had a similar case of it was just whiplash. One character hated the Jedi, didn't believe in the Jedi, staunchly against the Jedi, and then 5 pages later he's becoming friends with and falling in love with the Jedi. So it was a mess. It was a mess for me. I don't think that it really set up. I don't know if it was needed yet. I know that the sequel isn't out yet. It won't be out till the latter half of the year. If then, possibly next year. But it doesn't feel needed at this point. At this point in phase 2, I am over the two warring planets. Their names are too similar. It was too much of a mess. You couldn't tell who was fighting who. It was, I don't know how it's tying in, but so far phase 2, I'm not happy about it. Oh, and before I forget, how many good viceroys exist in Star Wars? Just someone tell me, because every single viceroy in every single movie, in every single book is evil, is mustache twirling, and is awful. It was bad. Anyway, my God. The next non-romance book I read was The Partway Paladin, Volume 3. This is the omnibus edition. This is a very, I would say, cozy fantasy manga series about a young man who is reborn in this fantasy world. He is raised by if I can remember right, a zombie, a spirit, and a skeleton in a set of ruins far on the outside of human civilization, and it's about him growing up, coming of age, and leaving that place and becoming a paladin for a specific deity and his adventures. He does have an ultimate goal. I'm not going to give that away because I actually think that might be a bit of a spoiler, but this is a fantastic little manga series, and like I said, I would categorize this as cozy for me. Now, there is some action, there is some combat, and there are some moments where things look dire, but because of the nature of this being like an isekai, our hero is OP. He's overpowered, so things are going to work out. Things are okay. It is just a feel-good, occasionally emotional, but mostly feel-good series, and I highly recommend it if you like shonen, isekai, manga like that, or if you want something cozy. It is a great thing to pick up. Now, besides those, let me double check. Yep. Oh, I lied. I was going to say, besides those, I've only read romance, but there are 2 books that I have read that aren't romance. Yes, yes, yes. All right, so the shorter of the 2, Calico Thunder Rides Again. This is a fantasy set in 1920s America Western setting with dragons and takes place in a circus. I really liked the writing on this one. I enjoyed the little hints of world building we got, but I think for me, I don't jive with a blackmail plot. Blackmail plots make everyone stupid. It doesn't matter what's happening, what you're being blackmailed for, who the characters are, they always end up stupid. They end up keeping it a secret. They end up screwing over everyone else in their lives. I don't like blackmail plots, and so that was on me, not so much the book, but this is a blackmail plot. And there were 1 or 2 moments in the plot where I was like, we could have done a very easy other action right here and it would have prevented this plot event from happening. So sometimes you could see the author in the back, but for the most part I enjoyed this. And I am going to try the author, I can't remember her name, TJ Hernandez? Could be wrong. I will be trying her next, one of her other books that she has. I think it's called Peace. I have a sample downloaded, so it's on KU. I'll pick it up and report back at some point. And the other book that I read that was an actual solid 5 stars this week was A House with Good Bones by T. Kingfisher. And who is surprised? Honestly. T. Kingfisher is one of my favorite authors. Ursula Vernon, T. Kingfisher, whatever she writes under, her kids' books or her adult books, I love them all. This is an arc that I had on NetGalley. I have a full review, YouTube short, and an Instagram post all coming up closer to the release date. This comes out in March. This was absolutely amazing. I highly recommend it if you are a T. Kingfisher fan, and it might even be something that I think non-fans would enjoy. It has some of her quirky humor to it, and her unique characters that you get in a lot of her other books, but for the most part, it is paced kind of like a creepy horror movie. It gave me real Southern Gothic... That was the cats with the zooms. It gave me real Southern Gothic meets Stepford Wives vibes. But make it messier. It was really good. The main character Sam returns home. She's furloughed. She is a paleoentomologist, which means she studies bugs, bugs on archaeology sites. and she is furloughed for a time, so she returns home to live with her mom for a bit to check on her, that sort of thing. And while she is there, she starts to realize that the house isn't the same, and things have changed a bit. Her mother is suddenly a lot more like she used to be. She acts scared a lot, and some of the very creepy and uncomfortable and frankly racist things that her grandmother had out and did are back, and she can't figure out why. It's a book about heritage. It's a book about breaking generational trauma, honestly, and it really struck home for me because T. Kingfisher lives in the South, very near where I do, and the representation of the grandmother in the flashbacks is just spot on for a lot of my extended family. The very Southern, well, I'm not racist, but you are racist. Fantastic book. Highly recommend. Like I said, it comes out in March, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Hello. Can I help you? Okay. So the rest of the books I read were romance. I have been very busy the last... Ma'am, is that necessary? Truly, at this moment. Thank you. Been very busy, been a little bit stressed. My mind's at like, you know how when your brain is just at completion, just full. That's been me. So I've been reading a lot of romance. I finished the Peculiar Taste series. I didn't particularly have any want to do it, but I did it so I could say I had done it. The first one was Vixen's Deceit, and the next one that I read was The Fae Queen's Captive. Vixen's Deceit. Okay, first off, I enjoyed this. I actually really liked the haunted house part of the story, the representation there. That whole, like, first, what was it, half that we spend in the haunted house and how she writes that and describes it. Really, I actually loved that. I would love to see her write just a haunted house book. The secondary half with the creature in the mirror was also pretty good. Not as strong as the haunted house part, but good. I just don't understand, maybe I missed it, how this ties to the rest of the series. It doesn't seem to have anything to do with the fair. There was one mention maybe of the fair, but I didn't quite connect the dots. So I gave it a 3 just because I really liked portions of it, but for the series as a whole, it just didn't feel like it fit in any way, shape, or form. So maybe I'm just missing something. And the one I actually really liked was The Fae Queen's Captive. And I remember the author on this is Adriana Herrera, I believe. This was absolutely fantastic. I really liked this. Very short, about a girl who gets kidnapped into the Fae realm. It's supposed to be for 3 days, nights, and ultimately she's supposed to be let go unharmed, and how she decides that maybe this is where she's meant to be after all, and they find a way to keep her there. Fantastic. Really steamy romance novella. This was probably one of the best ones in that series for me, that little Peculiar Taste series, but I'm not surprised. Was it Adriana Herrera who wrote this one? It wasn't, because Adriana Herrera wrote the one I didn't like. I don't remember who wrote this one, but I really enjoyed it, and I know it's an author I've read and enjoyed before, so it's on the screen. I'm not out here, clearly. This might be a 3 cup of coffee day, so there might be another cup after this. Let's see. I'm looking at my list. Oh, yes. Desperate Measures by Katie Robert. I have a up and down relationship with Katie Robert's books. I like Katie Robert as a person online, but her books sometimes work for me and they sometimes don't. This one worked just enough for me to finish it. I liked aspects of it. I liked Jasmine's ultimate transformation at the end, and the mobster storyline was kind of interesting, but I didn't enjoy the dynamic of these two. I don't like brat, combative sort of relationships. I am very much not a competitive person, and so I don't like seeing that in romantic relationships, just for all kinds of reasons. So the dynamic didn't work for me great. I might continue on. A couple of the others in this series sound intriguing to me. I know a couple in the further into the series. There's a bunch of different couples. I know there's a poly couple, there's at least one sapphic couple, so I probably keep trying them. Katie always explores different dynamics in her relationships, so surely to goodness something will work for me. And I think that's it for the books that I read. The books that I am reading, I am almost done with Spellbinders, the Not So Chosen One. The first name of the author is Andrew, and I don't know how to pronounce the last name, but it's up on the screen. This is super cute middle grade. I really enjoyed this. It's got some D&D vibes to it, in that the main character is from our world and is a quest master as opposed to a dungeon master. He runs games for his friends, that sort of thing. So I'm super liking this. It's very cute. I will probably talk more about it closer to release date and once I finish it. It doesn't come out till like next June. I am also about halfway through A Prayer for the Crown Shy because my husband reminded me that there's a cat under the tree. My husband reminded me that I still have not read this yet, and A Song for the Wild Bill is one of my favorite books of all time, and I just keep putting this off. So I decided I'm gonna read it before the year ends, so I'm almost done. I'll probably actually finish it today after I finish this video. And then I am going to finally get to Kiss Her Once for Me because I have talked about it enough. I am very excited about it. I really want to get to it. That's what I'm currently reading. I have an arc on my Kindle that I'm reading, and I cannot remember the title. I'm gonna put it up here, but it is a fantasy inspired by Chinese mythology. I think it's a Song Like Fire, something like ice. It's on the screen. Guess you could tell, not all here today. And then I'm probably gonna read this picture book tonight just for me because I thought it was pretty, and that is Reading Beauty. This is by Deborah Underwood, illustrated by Meg Hunt. I picked this up as I was flipping through books looking for some for my daughter, and the artwork in this is absolutely stunning. And so I grabbed it for me to read because I like picture books too. I am a grown adult and I can read what I want. But this looks very cute. I can't wait to read this. So this will probably be read today. And that's it. I think I will return to Portia. My husband bought me a new game for our Christmas celebration, and I'm very excited. I'm going to return to my game and then do a little reading and enjoy the nice gloomy weather. And I hope everyone is having a great day. Let me know what you're reading, if you've read any of these, if you want to, your thoughts, anything like that, down below. And I will talk to you guys again soon. Bye!